very good afternoon. Now is the time to talk about impact, entrepreneurship, education, and celebrate the next generation of impact innovators and impact ambassadors. Since 2018, the Bayer Foundation has been supporting an impact entrepreneurship education initiative called the Social Impact Startup Academy, SISTAC. What you've just seen are a few impressions of SISTAC's work. Here on stage, I have the great honor of having the chairman of the Social Impact Startup Academy, André Habisch, and Karen Carter of the Miller Center of Social Entrepreneurship at the Santa Clara University. And together, we will have the honor of celebrating and awarding 3 outstanding students, young social innovators that have created amazing things together with impact startups. You will notice that our celebration will have also, or will be themed around international cooperations for training and educating the next generation of impact innovators. But before we jump right in, André, why don't you tell us why we are here on stage at SISTAC and how it all began?
Yeah, thank you, Eva. In the morning when we had the workshop with the most important guests here, which are our social impact startups, I was mostly impressed by the personal narratives. So let me tell a little bit the personal narrative of how SISTAC emerged. I mean, I serve as a volunteer, as a chairman of the board of trustees of Bayer Cares Foundation since 18 years now. And after one of these sessions of the board of trustees, Stefan and I went to the airport back to the south of Germany, where I teach at a business school. And we thought, okay, we have these great examples of social impact startups in Africa and the Southern Hemisphere. And we have, on the other hand, my students at Catholic University in the master course of entrepreneurship and innovation. Why don't we bring these two together? Because they could enrich each other a lot. And this is what you see here. SISTAC as a non-profit is linking learners on the one hand, academic, university-based master students with impact startups from Africa. And we are mostly interested, next slide please, we are mostly interested, of course, in fostering the purpose and the impact of our students. Yeah, our students who sometimes have the idea, okay, I am a business student, yeah, so I probably chose profit and not the common good. Yeah, so I'm probably here and there part of the problem and not part of the solution. And we want them to understand, no, you as business students can make a big difference. Yeah, you can do something for sustainability, for sustainable transition, which nobody else can do. Yeah, no politicians can do it. No NGO from Greenpeace also can do it. But you who have the ability to build business models, to analyze existing business models, can contribute in an invaluable way. And so we, at the same time, of course, we also wanted to create a real impact. Yeah, so we would really provide tangible support for our founders, well knowing that, okay, we talked about a lot of financial support in this, and we know this is important. We saw the whole workshop was full, yeah, when we talk about financial support. But these startups also need non-financial support. They need somebody looking into their business model, having this fresh look from outside, and asking questions, and pointing probably at weak points, and proposing themselves something which would compensate these weak points. And not only theoretical, not even nice to have, fluffy ideas. No, we ask them to come up with a minimal viable product for their proposal, and also to test their proposal together with relevant stakeholder groups of their startup.
So it is mostly about creating benefits for both sides, right? So on the one hand, the impact startup receives high quality not just consultation, but as you said, a fully fledged, high quality, tested solution that can make its business even more impactful, even more visible, or just more efficient, you name it. And on the other hand, the learners, they learn the ropes, of course, of social innovation, social entrepreneurship, the whole entrepreneurship toolbox. That this is a nice thing. But what we have observed also in our students and also in the professionals at established companies like Audi that we work with, they step out of the projects with a whole set of what we call transversal competencies that are key to the job market and key to professional development. Is it conflict resolution capacities? Is it intercultural skills, project management skills, a problem-solving mindset? And this is what benefits both our parties in these cooperations. Yeah, but of course, there is a higher goal behind the work of the academy. And Andre, can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we adapt this learning approach here, of course, also to step by step develop the solution together. And the constant communication between startups and students is an important element. And this is precisely where we also at a certain point detected, okay, if it works so well with students, and we have realized more than 80 projects in these 7 years now, why don't we also address corporate employees? Yeah, why don't we also work with future leaders inside of the organizations of the companies? Companies are complaining about a lack of entrepreneurial spirit. They are calling for shared ownership, as we also have heard yesterday within the Bayer company. They want active employees, and this is precisely what these kind of projects can provide to the employees as well. So if I may cite Celeste Vogel, founder of eWaka, the partner of the Audi project, which we were realizing earlier this year. It was an ecosystem type of thinking, which I think it was fantastic. And then on the other hand, the employees from Audi, who, by the way, 80%, Audi being an engineering automotive company, 80% male. Yeah, our group on social impact startup, 80% female. Yeah, so we had female employees from different parts of the company, and they say we came from a cloud of fuzzy ideas towards creating a diamond in a team effort. So they, in the beginning, they were stunned. Yeah, what should we do? Not a clear indication, but we have to come up with a business model recommendation. And then they, step by step, they developed an app in which they provided their founder with a solution to also attract mobile clients. Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, even a corporate foundation provided funding for that result.
Thank you very much. Let us have a look at what actually happens during such an, what we call, action learning project between impact startups and learners, students, or professionals. So, as Andre already said, what is important here is the fresh look from the outside at the startup's business model. Because, I mean, what we did in the past was we had 5 startups from the Bayer Foundation Network, and we asked the startups to come up with maybe a wish list or a task for the students. And so they did. So they said, okay, I would like the students to come up with a marketing strategy, or maybe a new pricing strategy. However, by just leaving the choice up to the impact startup, we actually ended up replicating blind spots by the entrepreneurs because they just knew their business models too well. So we learned, and the first step in the action learning methodology is actually to ask the students to first analyze the business model, have a good understanding of what the business model is about, who are the key stakeholders, what is the value proposition, and then question the business model. What are the potentially maybe weak spots, potentials for improvement, potentials for getting more impactful, and then based on that analysis make a proposal of what they are actually supposed to do for their impact startup. And then based on that build a minimum viable product, so something that can actually maybe already function, maybe an app click dummy, maybe a landing page with essential features. Build the minimum viable product, that's the first step, but also test it with relevant stakeholders. Present the solution to the customers, to employees, to the people who have to work and interact with the solution, and see what is the reaction. So if we present someone in a rural area, in a country in the global south, without any internet connection, with an app solution, then of course the solution is no good. The students need to learn that. We test the minimum viable product, and then based on that, the students actually hand over their final solution after cycles of refinement and improvement to their startup partner. At SISTAC, we wish to apply this concept of action learning and interacting between impact startups and students or learners in a variety of contexts. And hence, we work together with many different stakeholders to expand this network, also internationally, because we believe that learners and entrepreneurs around the world can hugely benefit from this methodology. But specifically, when we say expanding strategically, what do we mean by that? What are our areas of action, Andre?
Yeah, well, we are thinking of student programs, of course, sharing our methodology, and I would also invite you, if you have contact with the business school, let us know, who might be interested in sharing that methodology, because we feel obliged also after all these experiences we do ourselves to share it with others, also to increase the impact, the global impact for our social impact startups. Yeah, so we are looking for partners internationally. I'm very happy and proud to have a representative here of Santa Clara University with us, who starts also to work together with us on that. But we also search for other partner companies maybe who might be willing to run such a course with their future leaders, always to reach more startups and be able to help them in a tangible way.
So let me zoom into the student startup collaboration at our university in Ingolstadt for a second, and also share a few highlights of the last few months at SISTAC with you, because definitely one of the highlights of the learning projects in a university context is the Social Innovation Bootcamp. Initially, it was established as the kick-off event that would bring students and their impact startup partners together to actually start the collaboration. And after 3 years of interacting purely via the screen due to COVID restrictions, in April 2024, for the first time, we were actually really again able to bring 5 inspiring founder personalities from the Women Empowerment Award winners of the Africa region to Ingolstadt to interact with the students. And together with Bayer Foundation and a motivated group of 20 students and those 5 inspirational founder personalities, we moved far beyond a mere kick-off event for a university class. In fact, we created a forum of international exchange and joint collaboration, forum for ideas for accelerating impact in global south countries. However, at the Social Innovation Bootcamp, we also had 2 very special guests that, that made a long way from Santa Clara to Ingolstadt and joined us for the boot camp. We had Jennifer Merritt Faria and Iris Stewart Frey of the Miller Center of Entrepreneurship and Santa Clara University with us to actually embark on this partnership and to share best practices between two institutions with very similar goals. And today, we have the great pleasure and honor of announcing and celebrating the prestigious cooperation between Miller Center and SISTAC together with Karen here on stage. And Karen, thank you so much for making the journey to Berlin to join us for this celebration.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly grateful to SISTAC and to the Bayer Foundation for including us here today in this conference and also for your partnerships. So first I wanted to tell you a little bit about Miller Center for Social Entrepreneurship. We're based at Santa Clara University and we are in the heart of Silicon Valley in California. If you haven't been to Santa Clara, we invite you all to come. It's a really beautiful campus. We've been working in this space since 1997, so over 25 years in the field of social entrepreneurship. And our mission is accelerating social enterprises to end global poverty and protect the planet. We particularly focus on women's economic power and climate resilience, and we work with social enterprises who are post-revenue startups and early growth stage companies. And our program combines customized curriculum based on the needs of the social enterprise, as well as extensive mentorship. We have a mentor network of over 350 executive mentors from Silicon Valley and around the world, and they are just tremendous. And to date, we've supported over 1,400 social enterprises in over 100 countries, and together they're creating impact for 160 million people. We also engage with students very extensively, and this has changed over the years. We've had a fellowship for over 10 years now that is a fully funded research opportunity for fellows to work with social enterprises on developing a research project and then spending part of their summer in the country with the social enterprise working directly with them on their research project. In the last few years, we've expanded our programs tremendously, and we are now also offering coursework, class projects through our business school and other departments to work directly with social enterprises, paid internships, and along with the fellowship. So right now we're working with over 700 students a year, which is just really, really exciting for us across all departments at the university and both undergrad and graduate students. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our partnership with Bayer Foundation, which we're extremely grateful for. Together we are going to sponsor a cohort of 15 to 20 social enterprises working in women's economic power, climate resilience, health and nutrition. And Miller Center will offer them a suite of accelerator and post-accelerator support that includes capacity and leadership development, bespoke mentoring, investment readiness and facilitation, and impact measurement and management. And then together, based on that cohort, we will select the 5 to 8 most promising social enterprises in terms of their ability to scale and create impact and sustainable change. And we will co-invest with Bayer as well as through our impact investing arm, Miller Center Capital. And as the previous panel mentioned earlier this afternoon, our fund is intended to be catalytic. So we plan to go first, often with the social enterprises that we accelerate, and de-risk the investment for other impact investors. And to date, we're seeing on our current fund, we're getting about a 12-time return on our investment. So it's just tremendous catalytic capital. And now we'd like to, Ava and I would like to share a bit about the partnership together with SISTAC.
Right, so we have already started our conversations around what can we actually do as two institutions that have very similar goals. We engage in high quality impact or social impact, entrepreneurship, education. So, of course, on the one hand, we want to share best practices in teaching and training the entrepreneurs, the innovators of tomorrow through action learning by being in the field and working together with actual entrepreneurs to get first-hand experience in learning entrepreneurship. So this is where we want to exchange best practices and see what we can, as academic institutions, learn from each other.
Yes, and then we also, of course, want to come up with joint publications, to better understand also what happens actually in the action learning process. So what happens with the students participating, how they learn in a more comprehensive way, not only about techniques, but also about probably the living conditions and working conditions, also about their own role. For example, in addressing pressing sustainability challenges. And we want to organize action research events, to coming together with an international group. And once again, we are open to other colleagues, especially also from universities from the Global South, to join us and to form that network of constant learning and improving of these tools.
At SISTAC,
Go ahead.
At SISTAC, we believe that Miller Center has been the perfect partner to actually establish a global scholar network where we can exchange practices and publish together. So we had our first global call between academic institutions that engage in action learning and action research practices on entrepreneurship education. And we invite more. And we want to continue our conversations on how to publish on the matters, how to engage in effective alumni management and alumni engagement, and what are the trends in the future that we are about to pursue as academic institutions.
And we're so excited to be a part of these students' journeys as the next generation of change makers. It's just truly inspiring to see their commitment, their passion, and the work that they're doing. So we're very honored and privileged to be a part of the SISTAC Global Network and look forward to our continued partnership.
Let's move to
the second half of our session is dedicated to the SISTAC Prize. You probably ask yourself what these kind of emblems here wanted to tell us. We do this regularly for outstanding examples of our action learning teaching students at the faculty. And we have two types of interventions, academic interventions. One is a seminar, which is obligatory for all the master students in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation at our school. And here different groups, as I've just mentioned, are following the bootcamp, are working together with the startup. A second format which then emerged is a master thesis. Master thesis, which is, of course, written individually by a student, and which also is elaborated in close contact with an action learning, an action learning methodology with a social impact startup from the Southern Hemisphere. And we had here 2 years ago, we had here 3 students, which we handed out these prizes. And I may here also tell you that one of these students, after the prize ceremony, via a member of the jury who was also in contact with UNIDO, the United Nations Organization for HR in Vienna, made the connection of our winner students to the UNIDO president, and she is now working in the transformation team of the UNIDO presidency at Vienna due to receiving that prize. So I don't know what will happen to today's prize winners, but I wanted to give you some indication what is possible here.
then let's see what happens and start with the group award for the SISTAC Award for Outstanding Impact Cooperation. An excellent TED speaker called Ernesto Ziroli once gave an inspiring talk about impact entrepreneurship facilitation in Global South countries. His message was very simple, very easy to understand, but so difficult to implement. He said, if you want to help someone, shut up and listen. Lisa and Manuel, I would like to call you to the stage. You took part in our Social Innovation Masterclass last year, and please, everyone, give a big applause to our amazing students. Lisa and Manuel, this seminar paper you wrote together with your fellow students Irina and Arati convinced the jury in many different ways. But one thing actually stands out. You guys put the shut up and listen actually into practice. With a crowdfunding campaign integrated into a holistic communication strategy, you helped Aya Tsuboi with her impact enterprise Sunda attract funding for a smart water pump system in Uganda. But maybe you tell us from your perspective, what is the impact that you made on Aya and the business?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Yes. So basically what I want to say is that Sunda is a relatively young startup, and what we felt they needed was support in general and support in securing investments also. And Aya, the founder of Sunda, is from Japan, and Sunda was actually very Japan-oriented investment-wise when we met them. And what we basically did, we created a crowdfunding, we designed and tested a crowdfunding page for them to more expand globally and to communicate their mission to the wider world outside of Japan.
Yes, I think also that the most important part of our work was that Sunda is operating with two hearts, like one in Japan and one in Uganda, sees itself more than to a global and international company. And through our work and through the crowdfunding ambition we had to bring it on the global table, I think we helped Sunda and Aya, the founder, to enhance for international issues and to, in the end, be prepared for more upcoming challenges, which are pretty obvious. And so we are thankful to be here, and we are thankful for the support of the Bayer Foundation and to Stefan. And yes, thank you.
I have two more questions to you. I won't let you go before you tell us a bit more, because I think we're all curious, because your paper was selected for the SISTAC Award for Outstanding Impact Collaboration because you listened so well and responded to your founders' needs. How would you describe the cooperation between Aya and the group?
I would describe it as very insightful and also productive. I want to say that I was really patient with us because it took us some time to really understand the business model behind Sunda. I don't know if it's for us it was kind of a challenge at first, and I was really patient with us, and then when we provided some ideas after that to her, she was really respectful and yeah, what do you want to say something else?
Also, she was, she tried to give us a very comprehensive view on our company. She not only gave us every document we wanted to have an insight of, she also gave us the chance to get to know the lead engineer in Uganda. So we had really a full understanding of how the company works, and not only about the numbers and what are the like due diligence aspects, but also how it really operates in the field. So in the end, we had like a really, really good communication with Aya.
Working in a startup environment without like a clear direction, like a cloud of fuzzy ideas maybe, and also working together with people from different also cultural contexts. Well, this can be a complex task sometimes. From your perspective, what was the greatest challenge on the way, and how did you end up resolving it?
I would say that the greatest challenge was at first to come up with some idea. So as was already mentioned, we worked as a consultants for Sunda, but basically at first we needed to have an idea on what to consult. And on that place, I want to say thank you to Professor Habish and Eva for consulting us on what idea to choose and what to work on. And basically there were some challenges definitely like in work in progress, but they were, I guess, at least for me, they were easier to overcome than the first one.
And the first challenge we had was that we came up with some ideas in the beginning, but we had to, for example, we wanted to include in our approach other investors and previous founders to give Aya, like the founder and Japanese founder, a good feedback on her work and what she can like improve. Turns out that the schedule of a founder and an investor is pretty tough, and it was not easy to get these feedbacks. So we had like to completely change our idea, and so in the end we were not only focused on the end result, because the end result was always like kind of changing. We were more focused about the process itself and tried to be as agile as possible.
Would you describe that as a maybe key learning? So with every challenge, I guess there comes a learning out of a project. So what are the learnings that that you are taking away from the collaboration, apart from a nice award?
So actually what I wanted to say is that you said in the beginning that our project was chosen because we like listened to Aya. I would also mention it as our greatest learning is to remain flexible and to be responsive and respectful to the feedback. And I think that's what really helped us to get through this project successfully.
Also, like as I said, as our first approach was not really manageable to really do so. So I think it helped us that we failed like very fast. So like it was in the first weeks that we came up with the idea where we were fully convinced. But in the end, we also learned very fast. Okay, it's not the right idea. We have to change something. So I fully agree on the flexibility aspect.
So listening to the customer and learning cycles, I think I've heard that before, maybe last night. So thank you for sharing your insights, your learnings, your challenges on the way with us. And let us now proceed with the award.
Let's now turn to the second prize, which is for the best mastered thesis. And it is Jan Goodside here with us. Please come, Jan, to us. And let me mention three kind of categories of the prize which Jan excelled in. First is ambition. Yeah, Jan aims high by challenged by his social impact startup founder, actually from Nigeria. He decided to come up with a comprehensive impact explorer database, providing no less than the type name, the organization, the type of funds, the website, the size, the categories, the location, description and restrictions of different international social impact fund providers. He thereby rejected my proposal to limit himself on an InVision-based prototype, but insisted to put together a fully fledged database, which is also publishable in the web. The second one is a very important category in the action learning, which is self-directed learning. Because what we are doing here is not to present student with a catalog of duties, of tasks he should learn, but he has to fulfill his challenge and thereby has to dig himself into a lot of different topics. And in order to achieve his goals, Jan had to make a large number of decisions concerning effective and affordable software solutions, about the graphic tools, website design, font size and colors of his database, learning about multiple IT structures, as well as how to program them. He decided to conceptualize different expansion stages of his database and, based on his talks with his social impact startup, formulated even frequent asked questions for his database. And he worked with Google Analytics, with Hotjar, with Qualtrics, and so on, to allow the startup a kind of qualified elaboration of the movements of the website. Finally, he learned, of course, a lot about heterogeneous international impact investing scene. The fit or non-fit with the particular necessities of his SIST and so on. So he even filled in some of these kind of questionnaires for his SISTs. And later, last but not least, of course, also the communication about his work. And we invite our students also to publish feeds on LinkedIn regularly, to tell the general public more about their progress. Jan presented his work within his LinkedIn account, as well as in different university and community-wide gatherings locally. Moreover, for testing his MVP, he also approached different private users as well as potential clients. So no less than 53 persons from 14 different countries in order to test his MVP and really be able to deliver information about the underlying critical assumption, whether these would be correct. And he integrated, of course, the feedback he received also into his MVP. Finally, he even created an audio recording of a training video in Audacity in order to smoothen the user experience. So congratulations, Jan, for this year's main prize for SISTAC with Veggie Victory.
Are we taking a photo?
Yeah. You want to give us some comments from your side towards your prize?
Please.
No? Yeah? Yeah, thank you very much for this great opportunity to have this prize here, and also thank you for the Bio Foundation for their foundation work. And also I want to warmly congratulate the other awardees and winners also from yesterday. These women we have seen there are so impressive with their work they are doing. And yeah, I was very proud to be also a part of this only 6 months of journey during my master thesis, but I'm so proud to be honored in this way. And yeah, thank you very much. Continue with this.
Jan, you told you are now working for an international insurance company, and you told us that your whole office was excited when the message arrived. Did you pick up something here in the master thesis which you could use also to your current professional work?
Yeah, definitely. As you said, I'm working for an insurance company based in Switzerland, and I gained so many insights, personal as well as professional, during my work on the master thesis. And one of the most complex things I remember, or which I which also developed myself as much, was dealing with complex situations, navigate through them, always be solution oriented, and yeah, at the end it's all about the goal to be reached, and mostly the way is yeah, sometimes heavy, but with the right persons we could meet and speak, and the network we have here to the Bayer Foundation and all of the others, yeah, together we always came to a great solution, and this is what I also do in my job right now. Just always look for the right persons to speak, and bring all to one table and get a fitting solution for all of us.
In your thesis, you had to limit yourself on the 5 months which were available, but then you also indicated a second and third step, which still has to be programmed if we want to make that available to a larger audience. And maybe following of this prize, we find ways together with Bayer Foundation to close that gap and make the result available. I already heard from many talks here during this day that this might be interesting for some of you to find probably impact investment funds in which you could apply for.
I just can confirm that, yeah, as I had a lot of discussions and heard a lot of things. There are so many more things to do, especially in impact financing. So yeah, I'm available, so just contact me if you want to have my slide deck or so. Yeah, I would love to be a part of the further journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Want to close in?
It's been amazing to celebrate these two wonderful events with you. Thank you so much, Bayer Foundation, for not only putting us here on stage, that is nice, but also allowing us to put our students on stage and display the great work that they do. It's been exciting to be here, and yeah, I'm very thankful for the conversations that we had and will have maybe also over the evening. And I always feel that there's a certain bit of magic about the Social Innovation Days, or something exciting always happens. So let this happen to you and to us.
Thank you, Bayer Foundation team, for another great conference. Thank you so much.